questions. Don't be shy. Ask your questions, because these agents want to sweet mouth you. They will sweet mouth you. Don't pay any money to anybody until all the promises they made you have been kept. If you're trying to cut costs and your job is one that determines you to be at work very early, please run away. It is me, Oluchuch. Hello. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchuch. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be filming about the processes and all it will take for you to move into an apartment in Abuja. Last week I actually put out a video. That was actually my second video on apartments in Abuja. I've been going around, trying to see what it will cost to actually move into an apartment in Abuja. A 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, and all of that. I'm just trying to gather the price range. First of all, if you're thinking of moving into an apartment in Abuja, the first thing you have to do is, of course, get an agent. So who is an agent? I don't know. I don't think I should be doing all those definitions in this video, because an agent is like the third party between a landlord, that is a house owner, and the tenant. If you're looking for a house, you definitely need to get an agent. First things I have to tell you about Abuja agents, they usually charge inspection fee. So for you to actually go out and look at a property, you need to pay them inspection fee. So this inspection fee usually ranges from 1,000, 2,000 to like 4,000, 5,000. I mean, it depends on the class of agent you're actually looking at. So if you want to get an agent to get you a house in Maitama, it will definitely cost you more than it will cost you to get an actual one in places like Kubwa, Lugbe, Jikoi, and all of that. So if you're trying to get an agent in Abuja, just know that they're actually going to charge you inspection fee. So this inspection fee is just to take care of their transportation, phone calls, and every other thing they have to do in the process of trying to find a house that suits your option. So yeah, then another thing I just wanted to put out there is that in case you do not in case you're just trying to look out, you're probably not just moving in immediately, I advise that you don't even go to see an agent immediately. I advise that you check online. So they have a lot of agents or agencies or platforms where they actually upload houses, so you could see a preview of what you're going to be getting for the amount that you actually have. So yeah, so we have places like nigeriapropertycenter.com, propertycenter.com, propertypro.ng, gg.com, flatify, privateproperty.com.ng. so out of all these websites that I just called, the ones that I usually like to go for, I like to go look on GG. So if you're trying to get a house, if you're just trying to see stuff, GG usually has much more options. nigeriapropertycenter.com as well, they also have much more options than propertycenter.com. Those three actually, they never fail me, they never let me down. I always see houses upon houses upon houses, and you get more houses in more areas. Do you understand? Another thing you should actually consider if you're trying to move into an apartment in Abuja is to know that apartments in Abuja actually cost money. They cost a lot. Apart from the agency fee and all of that, they actually cost a lot. So the rent in Abuja, like the average rent for like a 2-bedroom apartment is about 700, 800, and this is like very average. I'm being very, very, very cheap here. Some places you get up to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, depending on the area. Sorry. So like I said before, if you're getting a house in a place like Kubwa, so Kubwa is like one of the satellite towns in a town, so you can get an apartment for like a 2-bedroom apartment for 600, 700, 800, 900. Guess what? In Kubwa you can actually see an apartment for 1.5 million, but I'm just trying to be conservative here with the prices I'm calling. So just know and have that at the back of your mind that if you're getting an apartment in Abuja, you actually have to pay a lot of money. It costs money. Abuja properties are expensive, and that's just what it is. So yeah, so if you're getting an apartment in a place like Gariki, Wuse, Asokoro, Maitama, Gwarimpa, Apo Resettlement, not Apo Resettlement, I'm sorry, Apo Legislative Quarters, and all of that, you probably will get an apartment for much more than what you get for one in Kubwa. So you could get for like 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, depending on the area, like I say, or depending on the facilities in the house. So that brings me to another thing of budget. So you need to have a budget. If you don't have a budget, they're going to show you different kinds of houses and you're just going to be confused at the end of the day, and you probably will not know the one to go for. So I actually think that if you're trying to get a house, make sure you have a budget. So if you're sticking to 500,000, you're stuck on it, and you know, whatever place you get, as long as it suits with your major preferences, then you go for it. If you're sticking with 1 million naira, the agent, another thing I forgot to say when I was talking about the agent is that agents actually have a commission from the fee. So usually this is supposed to be like 10% or 5%, depending. I'm not a lawyer, I really don't know all these things, but I know it's usually 5 to 10%. Then you have the standard fee, which is about 6 to 10%. Like I said, I'm not really sure on what the exact amount is, but if you're just going to go like get a guide, like, you know, like Nigeria, you have like guys that go up and down and they're like agents. They are not actually registered, or they do not have a company that they work for, but they just go out and say they're agents, and you know, they get houses for people, and landlords actually patronize them, and landlords actually use them, and customers and tenants and all that actually use them. So if you're going to go with those ones you can actually have a working fee. So for example, if you're getting a house that is 500,000, you're probably going to pay 50,000 naira, 40,000, just say 30 to 70,000 as your agency fee. And so it just depends on your relationship with the agent, you know, or on your bargaining power with the agent that you're working with, you know, if you're able to bargain. So another thing to actually look out for in getting a house here in Abuja is actually electricity, guys. To make sure that the compound has a prepaid meter. In Nigeria, we still have prepaid meters, and we still have meters that just run and they just give you electricity bill at the end of the day. My strong advice is that you want an apartment that actually has prepaid meter, because when you don't have prepaid meter, the electricity companies just tend to give you bills that are estimated, and you don't want to be going back and forth to the electricity companies. I'll recommend that you actually get an apartment that has prepaid meter, so that way you can just buy your electricity and you monitor it. It's easy and everybody is happy. There's no need for electricity people coming to the electricity company, coming to your house, you know, to cut your lights and all of that stuff. You do not want that, trust me. When they cut your light, it takes like you don't even want to hear the story. So you just look for an apartment that actually has a prepaid meter. So there's usually an agreement, and I know they pay for these fees. They call it lawyer fees or tenancy agreement fees or whatever they call it, but yeah, it's an amount. They usually pay so amount. So, and this is excluding the rent, and this is a one-off payment. So when you pay agency fee or tenancy agreement fees, you just pay it once and for all. So I'll strongly advise that you actually go through this agreement with your lawyer, because in Nigeria we tend not to read things a lot. We just tend to sweep things under the carpet, and it's actually wrong. You should actually go through this tenancy agreement, go through it with a lawyer friend, you know, see all the clauses that may or may not suit you. Most landlords tend to have rules and regulations, or estates or gated communities, depending on where you're moving to. Yeah, so most places tend to have rules and regulations that they follow by. So for example, if you're someone that goes for night vigils a lot and you go for you go clubbing a lot, trust me, you want to make sure that where you're actually living is free or gives you the opportunity to do all of that, because some compounds, some estates, some gated communities actually have these restrictions. So for example, I know of a place that you cannot come into the estate, into the compound, once it's 12 a.m. in the morning or 11 p.m. at night. The truth is, the agent will probably not tell you this thing. He will not tell you. They will not tell you, because they just want to lease the house or rent the house and get their own share, and they're off to the next person. You understand? So you want to make sure that you do your research and find out if there are rules and regulations that are actually going to stop you from living the kind of life you want to live. I don't know if that came out well, but that's what I just mean to say, that just do your research. You understand? Moving into an apartment is actually a very big deal. You want to get a place that is comfortable, a place that is not going to choke you. You know, another thing also to look out for is the amount of visitors. Some landlords actually, or communities or whatever, or compounds, they actually restrict. They don't want so many visitors into their home. You tend to get this a lot when you have the landlord living in the same apartment with you. So they're like, oh, we don't want you bringing too many visitors. If you're like someone that has friends or love to have friends over, you love to have like 15 billion friends over at the same time. Some apartments actually have these rules that you can't bring so and so amount of friends, and that is the truth. You know, just make sure you do your research. It is very, very important that before you move into an apartment, you do your research. You know the kind of area you're going to. You know if it is waterlogged. That is another thing. Also know if it is waterlogged, because some compounds, they actually hide these things. It could even be a new compound. I know of a place in Abuja, make sure that they don't have any leakage. You want to make sure that the compound is not waterlogged. Like when it's raining, your whole place or your wall is soaked, your toilet is soaked. I know, like nobody wants to have that kind of wahala in their house. So all these things are like tips, questions, research that you have to do on your own in Abuja, because unfortunately we don't really have like a place or a thing in Abuja where you can actually go and report if your landlord is not treating you well. So that's why you have to do this research on your own, guys. Like, I can't even say this enough. Ask questions, don't be shy. Ask your questions, because these agents want to sweet mouth you. They will sweet mouth you. They'll tell you, oh, the landlord will do it. Don't pay any money to anybody until all the promises they made you have been kept. Because most times they tell you, oh, you see a leakage in the bathroom, or you see something is not well in the ceiling or something, and you're like, oh, are they going to fix this? You're like, yes. But they won't fix it if you don't stand your ground or ask your questions or see the landlord about it. Do not pay any dime to anybody except they have actually fixed what they said they will fix, because they will not fix it. It's Nigeria. You have to shine your eye. It's not only in Lagos all these things happens. This happens in Abuja as well. So they tell you, oh, we're going to fix it, we're going to do this. Don't give anybody any money, because the agent does not care about you. He doesn't care about your living conditions. He doesn't care if you're suffering, if rain is falling on your head while you are sleeping, or if rain is pouring on your body while you are sleeping. He doesn't care. He just cares about his money. All he wants is his money, and he's gone. Another thing I think you should look out for is traffic. So some areas tend to be more traffic prone than others. If you're trying to cut costs and your job is one that determines you to be at work very early, please run away from Karu, Yanya, Mararaba, traffic of life. You will get good houses, so I know you can get like a 2-bedroom apartment for like 500k in Karu, and the apartment will be new, fairly new or something. But the point is the traffic coming and going, especially if you're not against traffic. If you're against traffic, then it's fine. Like if you're living in Karu and your work and your job is at Maraba or Nyanya, good. But if you're in Karu or Maraba or Nyanya and you're living in like Metama, all those places, guy, you need to be careful, because traffic is going to deal with you. So you want to make sure that it's either you're waking up early, like living the Lagos life, or you're just getting an apartment in a place that has lesser traffic. Security is like another thing that people tend to forget. You need to ask. Like, you could just be carried away with how pretty and how beautiful the house is, and you actually forget that there's actually security. So you need to find out, do your research. You can ask neighbors, you can ask people living around, you can ask people that you've heard, your friends, who knows, they could have known somebody, or they could know someone that have lived there before or that is still living there before. So those are the best people that will actually tell you the truth about the compound, because the truth is the agents will never tell you the truth. Like I said before, they will not tell you. They just want to collect their money and go. Just know your budget, know what works for you, know what you want, you understand. Just know what works for you and run with it. So that is all I have for you today. So for new subscribers, thank you for joining, and for old subscribers, I really appreciate. Or you've been viewing my videos and you've not subscribed to my channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. I think you should actually subscribe, because I'm bringing content and value to you, showing you things that you probably have not seen on YouTube before when it comes to Abuja. So I think you should subscribe to my channel. just try it out. I know it's not killing you, you won't lose anything from subscribing to my channel, so thank you for subscribing. I'm putting the link right now. Just make sure you subscribe. I really love you. Mwah.